I'm joined by the National Press Secretary for Trump 2024, the campaign, Karoline Leavitt. Karoline, did you watch last night?
Unfortunately, Dagan, yes, I did watch last night.
Well, one thing that Scott Bessent told Sean and I yesterday is that we should expect to see a more optimistic President Trump. And that is something that everyone here and the Democrats are saying about Harris and Walz is his optimism. Is that what we should be watching for from President Trump?
Well, I think that's what you have seen from President Trump. If you watched the Republican National Convention, every single night was focused on how President Trump is going to fix this country and solve the crises that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have created. And we talked about making America wealthy again, making America strong again, secure again, safe again, prosperous again. President Trump's talking about that as he's barnstorming the country, visiting battleground states this week to contrast the Democrats' message. And look, they want to talk about joy. There's not a lot of joy in this country right now, and President Trump is right to point out the pessimism that the American people are feeling, their pain, their suffering as they watch their fellow Americans being slaughtered in Democrat-run cities and criminals being let free, as they watch an invasion of our country, millions of illegal immigrants who are given free rides, free housing, while working families cannot afford to pay the mortgages on their own homes. And so President Trump is realistic about the poor state of our economy, about the chaos around this world, about the lack of safety at our southern border, while the Democrats are completely out of touch. Last night was like watching an alternative reality.
Right. It's hard to swallow watching people drink spiked punch when you're drinking tap water. There's a great disconnect that you certainly feel here. By the look of it, the Democrats can barely run a convention, much less a government. Last night's star, President Biden, didn't take to the podium till about 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. So that was past prime time. While you could speculate it was on purpose to hide this mess from swing state voters.
The United States Supreme Court majority wrote the following, quote, "Women are not without electoral or political power." No kidding.
The DNC even canceled some speeches, claiming there was just too much raucous applause, and that was the reason that Biden wound up starting his speech at almost 11:30. Caroline.
There was a lot of raucous applause at the RNC as well, and we were not behind schedule. The truth is the Democrats staged a coup against Joe Biden, and they didn't want him in primetime last night because they know he's a liability for Kamala Harris. Because as Joe Biden said in his speech multiple times, he said, Kamala and I, because Kamala is just as responsible for the economic crisis, the wide open border crisis, the war in Ukraine, the war in Middle East, as Joe Biden is. And I understand that tonight the Democrats are unveiling a bold vision for America. That's what they're calling it. Well, they do have a bold vision for America, and it's to turn our capitalist constitutional republic into a communist regime. Kamala Harris now proposing price controls. She wants the federal government to tell grocery stores in Michigan how much they can sell bread for when the Democrats can't even run a convention, when the federal government can't get anything right. Every federal government program and agency is a complete mess and an epic disaster, and that's what we'll get with 4 years of Kamala Harris.
And it's worth noting the Inflation Reduction Act, they keep bragging about lowering prescription drug prices for seniors. Those are price controls, and the American people will not be able to see the deleterious effects of those price controls for years to come when one of their relatives or even themselves gets cancer and there isn't a drug there that wasn't, it's a drug that wasn't developed because of these very price controls. It is literal, it is not negotiating, it is hostage taking in essence. Moving on to this, RFK Jr.'s running mate, Nicole Shanahan, says they're considering throwing their support behind Trump. Watch this.
Two options that we're looking at, and one is staying in, forming that new party, but we run the risk of a Kamala Harris and Walz presidency because we draw votes from Trump, or we walk away right now and join forces with Donald Trump.
Karoline, your reaction to that?
Yeah, well, we welcome anyone to our campaign. Look, President Trump is building a historic movement, the most diverse, broad, largest political movement in American history. We'll see how the race shakes out. What I do know is that the other ticket, RFK Jr. and his running mate clearly recognize it cannot afford to be elected. America cannot afford 4 years of the Walt Harris ticket. It will be the most radical far-left ticket in American history.
Karoline Leavitt, great to see you. As always, thank you so much for being here.
You too.
Sean, take it away in New York.
All right, thanks, Dagan.